sassy. I'm still sassy after all these years.
Salinger, party of 5.
They tell this story that I didn't know at the time, but I was the very first person to audition for Bailey, which is kind of bananas. And at the end of the process, it was Chris and Amy, our executive producers and creators, and Matthew and Neve and myself and Lacey, and we all stood in this little circle. It's so crazy that it like makes me emotional all these years later. Amy said, "Congratulations, you're the Salingers." And we all looked around at each other. It was just like, yeah, we are. You know, like we had been it for our whole lives, and it just felt like a real family from day one. The hardest scenes to shoot were ones where there was major conflict between the siblings, where we're just not on each other's team in a given moment were probably the most challenging scenes. The intervention episode, and really all of season 3, where Bailey started to pull himself away from the family. And really still to this day, you know, difficult to, just emotional, going back and watching some of those scenes. I think the show always made people think and feel. I think our audience felt like they were visiting for an hour a week with the Salinger family. It never felt to us like we were a bunch of actors kind of pretending to be family. We really felt like family, and that carried in front of the camera. And the kind of crazy thing is, you know, 25 years later, there's a whole new audience discovering the show, and they seem to be having the very same reaction. And so it's a huge credit to how honest the writing was and the storytelling was. And you know, other than the hair and the rugby shirts, it seems pretty current. I have nothing but love for all things Party of 5. I had such an amazing experience making it, and I still love all the people that we made it with. But it feels like, you know, when we finished, the story had been told, really. And, you know, we set out to tell a story about whether this family would survive the loss of their parents or not. And in the end, they really did. And there's a lot of life for them left to live. But once that basic premise was fulfilled, we all felt like it was time to leave the show. Love Matthew, my big brother. We were really partners in crime, and you know, to have someone next to me who was as committed to the honesty of the work we were trying to do together was a lifesaver. Ah! Lacey Chabert! At 11 years old, taught the rest of us how to act. She was the most prodigiously talented person, and I love her to bits. Jennifer Love Hewitt, she was an incredible addition to the show. The relationship between Sarah and Bailey was one of the most special parts of that show, and I think has endured as one of, you know, a lot of the fans of the show, one of their favorite memories from it. Neve Campbell. Boy, she was super broody in this picture. I just was with her a couple nights ago. She's like a sister to me more than a friend. She's also like the goofiest, sweetest person off camera, and so we just had the greatest time ever making the show. And okay, I'll do a reboot.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.